For thousands of years, the bow was humanity's primary long-range weapon. It appeared long before the first civilizations and states. Archaeological evidence confirms its use more than 10,000 years ago. The bow allowed humans to strike enemies without engaging in close combat. This fundamentally changed both hunting and warfare. In ancient societies, archers were considered elite warriors. Egyptian frescoes depict organized units of archers. The Assyrians used bows in combination with infantry and chariots. In China, state examinations in archery existed. Composite bows made of horn and sinew were distinguished by their high power. They were compact and well suited for mounted combat. Despite its effectiveness, the bow had serious drawbacks. Training a professional archer took years. The muscles of the back and shoulders were under constant strain. Physical strength directly affected range and armor penetration. Fatigue sharply reduced combat effectiveness. Weather conditions played a critical role. Moisture weakened the bowstring and reduced accuracy. Strong wind and rain interfered with shooting. Armor gradually became stronger. Steel breastplates successfully protected against most arrows. Penetration required close range. Arrows were difficult to mass produce with consistent quality. All of this limited the large-scale use of the bow. The origins of firearms trace back to China. Gunpowder was initially used in fireworks and signaling devices. Later, it was adapted for military purposes. Gunpowder reached Europe in the 13th–14th centuries. The first handheld cannons were primitive. They had low accuracy and rate of fire. However, their destructive power was fundamentally new. A bullet struck its target through explosive energy. The physical strength of the shooter ceased to be a key factor. Even an untrained soldier could inflict lethal damage. This marked a revolution in warfare. Armor began to lose its significance. Knightly tactics gradually became obsolete. The battlefield began to change. The age of gunpowder had begun. The average draw weight of the English longbow reached 70 kilograms. Only well-trained individuals could withstand such strain. The initial velocity of an arrow was about 50 meters per second. A musket ball accelerated to 120,150 meters per second. The kinetic energy of the bullet was several times higher. It could penetrate breastplates up to 3 millimeters thick. Reenactment tests confirmed this. An arrow lost lethal power beyond 150 meters. A musket remained deadly at distances exceeding 300 meters. Even an inaccurate shot could be dangerous. Fragments of armor increased the wounding effect. Dense formations compensated for low accuracy. Mass fire became more important than marksmanship. The bow lost in nearly all measurable parameters except rate of fire. An archer could not be trained quickly. A person could be taught to use a firearm in a matter of weeks. This changed the structure of armies. States gained the ability to form mass forces. Military service became accessible to peasants. Individual skill gave way to discipline. Unified regulations and standards emerged. Armies became more controllable. Volley fire amplified the effect of gunfire. The bow did not fit into such formations. The introduction of the bayonet eliminated the weakness of musketeers in close combat. The soldier became a universal fighter. Cavalry lost its absolute dominance. Linear tactics strengthened the role of firearms. Battles turned into controlled clashes of lines. Archers could not effectively defend against cavalry. Firearms provided a dense wall of fire. The battlefield filled with smoke. Visual contact with the enemy disappeared. The sound of gunfire disoriented troops. In Asia, the bow persisted longer. Nomadic peoples continued to use mounted archers. Firearms were inconvenient for high mobility. However, technologies gradually adapted. Light cavalry firearms appeared. In Japan, arquebus proved effective in samurai warfare. In China, firearms developed with state support. Mass production became the decisive factor. The bow lost its strategic importance. It remained part of culture and tradition, but it no longer decided the outcome of battles. History repeated itself across different regions. The Industrial Revolution changed warfare permanently. Weapon production became factory-based. Rifled barrels increased accuracy. Bullets began to stabilize in flight. Firing range increased dramatically. Percussion locks sped up firing. Weapon reliability improved. Ultimately, it can be said that the bow disappeared not because of weakness, but because of the inevitable technological progress of humanity.